Hello and welcome to Pod Popper's Place. I'm Penny, and today I'm going to be opening this crafty critter box full of goodies that they sent me to play with so that I can participate in a Kendra's Card Challenge hop in March. And this foil art is so fun and fabulous. This has some different manly tools and equipment on it, as well as these gears. And these are about a 6x8 size, so they are quite large. So it would work great for either a 5x7, or you could create easily two A2 size cards out of these. I'm particularly excited about these gears because I have some gear dies and some different 3D embossing folders that would work really fabulous. And this paper as well has gears on it, so it's kind of that grungy, rustic kind of look. And so I'm excited to put those together for the hop in March. This paper also is masculine and has some of that texture that you see often in garages on different like the cabinets, and it's usually in silver when you see it, but it could look like tires as well. So this will be fun to work with as well in March. This next designer paperback looks like kind of like alcohol ink smushing kind of art, and it has some gold running through it, so really pretty backgrounds. And this next paper is like a diamonds or something. It's just like jewels background, all very diamond like, so really interesting backgrounds, got some interesting colors, so really kind of a fun thing to try. I've never seen paper like this before, but it's really shiny and thick, and it's only one-sided. This foil art with the sunglasses on it looks really fun to make some cards for summertime. Some of them say shine bright, I think, and they just have a lot of different sunglasses on there, and I will show using that a little bit later. And then this mandala art, so it has like 3 different sizes and quite a few different designs, so that's nice that there's different sizes to work with. There's also these roses. Some of them are a little more vintage looking than others. We have this kind of green, bright green tree frog green foil, and I thought that would be fun with the manly cards, and also baked sun, so I really like those oranges and greens for those different heavy equipment and gears. That should be great. And then this silver has hearts on it, so super pretty. I'm going to use that on some of the sunglasses. And this is blueberry swirl. I did end up trying it later on some happy birthday sentiments, and it is really pretty. It's mixes with the silver, so sometimes it's kind of hard to tell where the blue and silver is, but it really creates a nice effect. So first I'm going to try this mandala. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. And I just got a actual foiling machine this Christmas, and before I had a laminator, and so I'd always really have trouble getting really good results. So I got the Gina K Fuse, and I'm still learning how to use it. And you can see with this first run through in the plastic sheeting that they give you, it looks like it came out pretty well. I have the setting on a 3. I also have a piece of paper of really light cardstock behind there. I'm trying to keep my plastic sleeve from getting damaged with the foiling. And I pulled this up, and I should have just gone with it. I should have just pulled it up, been brave, gone with it. But I saw a few flecks of black that didn't get foiled, so I decided to run it through a second time. And then it was a little bit better. It was okay because I hadn't pulled it up all the way. Running it through a second time I think was okay there. But then I still see some areas that, have a few little black spots missing. And this is where I'm like, okay, maybe if I just cut a little corner off of the foil that didn't get used and lay it over there and run it through again, it'll be perfect. So this is what I do, and I recommend not doing this. You're going to see here why, and maybe you've already made this mistake and know why. but it won't work. It's just, it won't really work. And, you know, I'm trying to be really careful. I'm trying to use my Swiffer cloth to dust away anything that might be there. But do you see what I'm doing here? Do you see what's wrong? I'm trying to put a little piece over where that little black dot is, but I don't think about the fact that I'm going to be sticking this into a hot machine and it's on plastic and there's nothing separating the plastic from the image. So yeah, you can guess what happens. Yeah, right there. I ripped it off. I ripped off some of that gold foil. I just ruined the beauty of all that was there before, and it really didn't do much to help it. So it was not worth that mess up at all. I do end up trying to use some of that mandala, just cutting it in half and using the part that didn't get damaged in a card, but yeah, the whole thing is not usable. So here I use some of the baked sun on one of the smaller mandalas, and you can see it like bubbled up. And I think I had turned the machine up to a 4, and 4 is definitely too hot. Possibly when you have an extra sheet behind there, maybe the 4 would be okay, because that extra sheet is going to absorb some of that heat. But I peel this up a little bit. I can see there's quite a bit of wrinklage, and it didn't go through completely well, so I think I send that back through, trying to get some of those wrinkles out. I decide to use some parchment paper too, to see if that would work as well. And this is a sheet that came with the Gina K Fuse, used with the pink from Crafted Critta. And I was just trying to show there that although it did work pretty well, even, you know, the Gina K toner sheets, I still had some black spots where it didn't get foiled. So I just feel like maybe this is just part of foiling. You just never, I won't say never, you rarely get a good, completely pure impression. So here, this is the other one that I had decided to run through again, and it double foiled basically. It's hard to tell on camera there, but basically I got a shadow image of the same thing, which I'm kind of surprised it did that. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, that one not usable. This one is actually turns out pretty well. It's the smallest one. It looks like it's good. Look how hesitantly I'm opening it though. But this one turns out really well, and I use it, and then I'm going to use that negative part of the foil on that gold piece of toner sheets. So Crafted Critter also has these toner sheets, and they're just colored toner sheets. Some of them are white. They sent me some gold ones and white ones, and so I'm going to put the baked sun onto the gold toner foil sheet. And while it is very pretty, it is kind of hard to see, because the gold and the baked sun foil are just so similar in colors that while you can see the mandala, it's very subtle, but I still think it looks really pretty. Next, I got out my champagne gold foil that they had sent me, and the white toner sheets. And so I'm going to foil the little mandala, the small one, and then I'm going to put the negative on the white, and you'll see how it just is a much more obvious design on it. This time I used parchment paper, and I also still had it, I believe, on setting up 4, and you can see it wrinkled up the foil again. So 4 just seems to be too hot, and I had to turn it back down to a 3. So I almost feel like I need a 3.5 on there. But I did send it through before I opened it up again. I did send it through a second time after it had cooled down a bit, and I'm going to see if I can get some of those wrinkles out. Next, I'm going to try some of these sunglasses. I pick out one that doesn't have any writing or anything on it, and the silver with the hearts foiling. And I put that into the plastic sheet this time instead of the parchment paper. I'm just going back and forth between them, trying to kind of see what works. And after I did turn it down and run it through a second time with the parchment paper, it did flatten it out, and it actually came out really well. So I also like to use like these little scraps. Yes, you can put those on tiny little toner foil things, but it's really fun to use them for just on the toner sheets, because you can just get a nice shiny piece of basically cardstock, right? So now you can use this to punch out shapes or letters. The sunglasses has that center piece between the two eye areas, and it just didn't quite reach that center area. It kind of bubbled up there in the middle, so I am trying to run it through, and then I used a balloon punch to get those little shapes out of there. And the first one did pretty well. I'm gonna try to once again try to see if I can cover up some of those little black dots I see. My eyesight's not that great, so you would think I wouldn't be able to see these, but the perfectionist in me is just like, no, it didn't get perfect on there. So I'm once again trying to place these little pieces. And why am I doing this? Because I already know that if I put that in there without some coverage on it, it's going to ruin it, right? I don't know. This was early in the morning, and it didn't damage it this time, but it didn't work either. So basically, once it's through, other than the bubbling seems to be something that you can run through a second time and flatten that out. And usually the bubbling is because it's just too hot. But yeah, the extra little pieces, it didn't do anything. It didn't help. So, I could take the little balloon shape and cover it up, or, and actually you'll see later, at the end where I use it in a card, and I covered up some of the little black dots that were bugging me with little like hearts and different shapes. I tried several different sunglasses, just kind of to see what the best direction to put them in was. This one here has wording on it. It says shine bright. So I wanted to try one with words and without. And the wording looks pretty cool, I have to say. And, it's just these little tiny dots that really irritate me. But I'm trying to put it in like different directions. Like if I lay it flat one way, is it better than laying it flat the other way? The lengthwise versus the widthwise, I'm not really sure. And for some reason, I thought that the extra sheets, the extra spacing on the sheets would be toner foil, and that's not what it is. So I used the actual toner sheets, and the Shine Bright one turned out really well. I was happy with that one, and so I'm going to use that on a toner sheet as well, with white. Or maybe I did this one with gold. I might have done this one with gold, and I messed it up again. So here's the butterfly with the gold behind it. You can see it's much nicer. So yeah, I decided to put this on gold, and somehow I screwed it up. I can't remember how. Probably because I tried to run it through more than once. But, silver and gold probably wouldn't be my number one pick to put together. But I did only have the white and the gold to use, so I wanted to try it and see what it looked like differently. There's a few areas that I needed to rub off with a sand eraser. I do use this, and so you can see I pull it off, and for some reason it was pulling some of the toner sheet off. I would think maybe it's because the Shine Bright is wording. I don't know. It didn't, you can see it like tore off the gold. And I think it's because it goes through. So that toner sheet like wanted to come up with it. So I don't know if having those words in there, those might not work. I did do the second one. You can see the baked sun one there, and that one worked better, but there was still some areas that weren't done very well. These little roses I did though, they turned out perfect. So that was exciting. And I was able to cut out some of them with my scan and cut, although it wouldn't recognize the shapes very well on the foil. So like going around the sunglasses where it's a full sheet, it's like the negative side, it wouldn't recognize it and cut those properly. So if you figure out a way to use your scan and cut to do that, let me know, because I could not get it to recognize the shape of just the sunglasses. It wanted to look at the whole piece of foil. So I had to hand cut those out instead. But it was really fun playing with this. I'm going to play some more and hopefully get some better results. And here's the cards I made. I thank you for being here and watching this whole video, and I hope you come again soon. And it would be great if you subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.